Welcome to Make Shit Happen. This is 3 Minute Thursday, episode number 91. You know, guys, I wake up today and I'm thinking totally different, right? I'm thinking something going on in my head. I'm like, we need to teach people some etiquettes. When I say etiquette, it's work etiquettes. It's business etiquettes. It's how to conduct in life every day. And it appalls me, and that people don't know. If you're doing a project for somebody, what time to call people, what time to call, a client, what time is not a good time to call a client, what time is not a good time to call somebody you're trying to do business with for, or trying to get their business. Let's just say I'm a photographer, right? And this gentleman has contacted me that he wants me to do some shoots for him. Well, what time can I call him? What time I don't call him? Well, guys, you got to know this common sense. You can't call your client or your prospect or your future client, or hopefully he'll be your client, at 5:30 in the morning or 6 a.m. No, people are not comfortable. Work hours are between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. So you don't want to even call it 8 a.m. You probably want to wait about 30, 40, 50 minutes. The world doesn't owe you anything. I promise you. If you call somebody and they don't answer your question, you cannot blow them up. You cannot blow the phone up because you feel like no one is communicating. Listen, you got to humble yourself. You got to find out what is your role in the world. Okay, if you need something from people and you need to get a paycheck, then you need to be humbled. So that way people will give you enough work. People will like to deal with you. People will like to work with you. Because if you're difficult, nobody wants to work with you. If you're full of drama, nobody wants to work with you. If you're demanding, nobody wants to work with you. If you're just an a-hole all the damn time, it doesn't matter how talented you are, how good you are. You can be the best architect in the world. You can be the best in, detail-oriented architect, best detail-oriented engineer, detail-oriented artist, detail-oriented whatever you are. But if you are difficult to work with and you are not a pleasure, eventually that will, keep some people away from talking to you, engaging with you, doing business with you. So there's some stuff that you got to learn on your own. I understand that you can't, learn this thing from school. And sometimes, you're a product of your environment and you have a different, your father and your mother were doing different things and they did not know. They had lack of education and you can't blame them. Some things you have to self-educate yourself. If you want to get better, you got to read books. You got to educate yourself. There's nobody who's going to make you better but yourself. First person you need to see, how do I get better? Is you got to look inside yourself. You got to look inside your soul. You got to look at you and say, how do I make myself better? And then what do you want to do to teach yourself to get better? Books are a way. Motivational videos are a way. Guys, this is 2020. There's so much resources on our hand. So much resources available to us. This podcast is available to you, and that's why I'm talking to you today. If you're not communicating with somebody, you're a salesperson, and you're not communicating with your prospective client, and that's how you eat, well, guess what? Do you think your prospective client or your future client would want to buy from you? Because you're not available. Okay? If you're a traveling salesperson, and you have vendors, and you represent vendors, and you have stores that you call on, and these stores or the salespeople or the owner of the stores are calling you, and you're too busy to answer your phone because you're playing a round of golf. Because your round of golf takes precedence over your business. If you don't take care of your business is not going to take care of you. That person, that retail salesperson or the customer or whoever your client is, they are depending on you. And if you're not there, then you know what? Eventually they're going to stop doing business with you if it becomes a pattern that it happens 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, and you don't communicate. The world don't care about you. You got to care about yourself. The world don't care what happened to you. You got to take care of yourself. Sometimes people are like, well, I'm going through this and I'm going through this and I'm going through this. Listen, everybody in the world goes through something. But if you are in touch with people that are gonna give you money, or that's how you make your money, or that's your vehicle. Let's just say you have a job, right? And you work. Let's just say you work at a furniture store, because since I own a furniture store, we'll put it in my thing. And you are not performing, and you know you have a task of something to do. Let's just say you're store manager. You open up the store, and you know that you're responsible for hiring people, retaining people, training people, talking to customer, answering customers' questions. But you don't do. You do 2 out of 10. Well, you're not doing a good job. And then at that point, when everything falls apart, I can't blame anyone but myself for letting it come to that point. I cannot, and nobody has sympathy. What are you going through life? We want to build a relationship, but at that one time, guys, everyone has to look out for themselves. Everyone has to teach themselves. Everyone has to elevate themselves. Now, if you would have come to me, like, since we're talking about the manager, if you're a manager of mine and you come to me and tell me, hey, listen, you know what, I'm going through some stuff, let me take some time off, I'm totally understanding. But if you don't tell me, and if you don't come talk to me, and you just don't do anything, and you are at work all day long, but you're on the phone with your wife, your girlfriend, while the store is sitting absent by itself, do you think it's fair? And you are taking all the money? No, it's not. No, it's not. And I'm just putting this example because you can have any other job. But if you're not true to your job is not true to you. If you're not true to your business is not true to you. You're not true to your spouse, your girlfriend, your partner, they will not be true to you. If you're not true to your kids and you're not giving them time, eventually they will turn their back on you. That's just how world operate. That's just how life operates. So that's just a little rant I want to put out there. You got to, the only person who can elevate themselves is you. The only person who's going to look out for you is you. The only person, and sometimes you got to educate yourself. What should I do? What should I not? Nobody will tell you, hey, stealing a gum is wrong sometimes. But if you're stealing office supplies every day, guess what? You ought to get fired. You ought to go to jail. If you work at a restaurant and you're getting in the pantry and stealing stuff, guess what? It's not written nowhere that you shouldn't do, but hello, common sense. You should know that. You got to go to jail. You work at a car dealership and you drive your car off at night and you bring it back in the morning. I brought it back in the morning. I just needed a ride. No, you can't do that. No, you can't. But the only person who's going to teach you that is you need to have a common sense and you need to be true to yourself. Hey, that's my rant for today, man. This is 3 Minute Thursday. I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. And I'm sorry if I offended you. But guess what? Somebody got to tell you this shit. And better me than nobody else. Thank you out there. If you like it, someone needs to hear this message, share it with them. Share it with them. You're not doing them a disservice. You're doing them a service. I want to inspire 1 million people through my podcast, and I can't do it without your help. You could have been listening to anything else, but you listened to me ranting for about 9 minutes. So I thank you for that. And if you are listening to that, you don't understand how much I appreciate you. Thank you. Now let's get out there and make shit happen.